Welcome to the Abbey Road. In the distance you can see a poplar tree between the two trees in the foreground. That tree spans the distance between my home and the home where Stephen Spender lived, his main home for many years, until his death in 1995. This is the back of Manor Apartments, and this is where I live. These are the 14 garages that are full to overflowing with rubbish. All of them span the distance at the back of my flat, and one is round the corner. If I turn round, you can see my windows look onto the rubbish dump, and there is nothing that can be done. If I step back, you can see the roof of Old Manor Court, very high at 6 floors. That's when the evictions began 2 years ago, when the rent housing benefit rate began to be cut on local authority housing. That's the distance a man tried to throw himself, one of the tenants here, tried to throw himself to the ground because he was facing eviction from Manor Apartments. He was due in court the week after and was too afraid to tell anyone. Myself and my neighbour in the penthouse actually pulled him back from rolling over. This is the back of the block where I live, and as you can see, even this window, my 7th window, looks onto the rubbish at the back of Manor Apartments. This is the noisy period from 4 to 6, when Stoneforce are allowed to carry out as much slab drilling as they can fit in that time. It's actually quiet for them. They did a lot of drilling in the quiet period this afternoon. They seem to have rather run out of steam. It's a beautiful day in St. John's Wood, but there's very little of it that I have managed to see today. This is the Abbey Road, and where I think one crossing and one bus stop up from where the Abbey Road studio is. It's the synagogue across the road. There's another synagogue 8 minutes walk away next to John and Elizabeth, where I sometimes can get a meal and get away from here. This is the front of Old Manor Court, and now I'll take you through the noisy period this afternoon. I used to write here and do most of my writing looking onto those trees that you saw at the back of this block. Not anymore. Now my time is spent policing or attempting to calm down the noise, which is supposed to be calmed under an abatement order, which has been placed on this block for the 3rd time since 2006. This is what the entrance hall looks like. This is to make Bruce Ritchie his millions when this block is sold on. So far, only this floor with the 4 doors, and the first floor, which has been renovated, which was carried out in 2010. The rest of the floors are being renovated now. This block has had 3 calming orders imposed upon it in the time that I've lived here. Today, the noise officer was called and spent some time talking to the site foreman. But as soon as they left, at 2 o'clock, 2 to 2:20, we had full-on slab drilling. It's relatively calm now, but it's been a very, very noisy day. These are our days, indefinitely, for as long as I can see, with no end in sight, and no pity and no mercy for what we're having to go through. One tenant has had breathing problems already, and the air at this level is very difficult indeed. You can hear the slab drilling for yourselves. This is the top floor. But it seems that there is nothing we can do. The calming order should be policed by the noise team, but it's infringed so often that this, as they agree, is an impossible task. It's up to Stoneforce and Bruce Ritchie and the works manager who is overseeing this work to impose this calming order on the workmen. What else is there to say? To judge from the state the flats are in, we've got months, possibly years of this, with nothing that we can do. This is the Abbey Road, the dark underbelly of this famous road. What is it about? It's about making Bruce Ritchie more rich than he already is. It's about tenants going to the wall with no rights at all, no right to even live, let alone complain. It's also a very good way of getting statutory tenants to be on their way. This is one tenant who's not going anywhere anytime soon. Another wasted day, another visit from a noise officer, and there is still nothing we can do.